Hey, good morning guys, it's Alex here from ninjateacher.com and I'm out here in Thao Dien, District 2 of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and just taking a little stroll down the street here. Actually got a new wireless mic, so hopefully this sounds good. And District 2 is a very interesting area of Vietnam because a lot of people like it. It's very much laid back compared to some of the other districts in the city, and it's really nice with lots of little cafes and restaurants. It's very westernized in the sense that there's a lot of expats that live here. Every, I don't know, maybe fifth person you see might be an expat, an English teacher, or someone else living out here. And you can even see right here, there's like this little place here called Beer Craft, and lots of people are just hanging out here. Lots of cool spots, like check this out. Coffee Spin, just kind of a cool little cafe, and the traffic isn't as hectic here in Thao Dien, and there's some nice apartment buildings, like there's Masteri apartments which a lot of people stay in. So basically it's kind of a nice little bubble, a little bit outside of District 1, about 20 minutes, and a lot of people like to live out here and spend time out here. I was just out this morning to do a little bit of work at a cafe, just to take a break from the rest of the city, and yeah, it's really nice. You know, I understand why a lot of people want to live here. It did get me thinking about something that I heard of someone saying that I thought was quite interesting. So I'm going to find a little spot down this alley here and tell you that story. Lady just doing her exercises. So recently I was talking to someone and she was telling me about her roommates. Now they all live in the same house, in a shared house in District 3, and it's a nice place. It's really cheap, I think about $250 per room per person. So it's 5 people sharing a house with a kitchen. I think they all have their own bathrooms. It's a great way to live actually in Vietnam if you want to get a shared house with some friends, or move into a shared house with other people you don't know to get to know people. But anyway, one day the roommate was really upset and she was just in a bad mood, and she said, you know, my hot shower water isn't working. You know, the shower sucks. I can't do this anymore. I hate this. I'm moving out. So she decides to move out and find a new place, which is fine. I mean, I get you want a good shower. So the person I was talking to basically said to her roommate that was moving out, yeah, but it's Vietnam. And I think that's such a good phrase to encompass a lot of things about Vietnam and describes a lot of things. If you live here, you'll get it. When someone says something like that, it'll be like, yeah, it's Vietnam. To explain that a little bit more, what I mean by that, well, essentially, if you live in Vietnam, there's going to be a lot of things that aren't what you normally expect back home. There's going to be things that don't work in the same way, don't work as well. And let me give you a few examples to explain that. So one thing is traffic. So you might see all these motorbikes going past here, and it looks all nice and calm and peaceful right here. But when the traffic's going and you're in the center of the city, and in most districts really, it's going to be really crazy. So you have to kind of weave in and out, and there's just no laws of the road, basically. I mean, there are, and you know, you should drive safely. People do drive quite slowly, but you see people going up on pavements, driving up one-way streets the wrong way, not obeying traffic lights whatsoever, like just totally going through a red light or starting to creep out before the light turns green. So that's one example. Like, that just doesn't work as well as it should in another country, but it kind of does work at the same time, right? So I just moved over here with the lights a little bit better, But there's other things, right? There's the fact that you may find the streets dirty. You may see litter in places that, you know, you shouldn't see litter, like just on the streets. There's cockroaches, there's maybe more rats than you expect to see. And there's other stuff that's maybe a little bit more subtle, like going to a restaurant and wanting to order something special off the menu. Like say you want this dish but without some kind of herb or something like that. You just can't ask for that. Maybe because it's the language, but usually it's a cultural thing where it's served how it is and you just have to accept that. Another thing, going back to the shower issue, is there's a lot of bathrooms that don't have a separate shower. So there's actually like a shower head in the bathroom that just gets everything wet. So you have, you know, your sink, your toilet, and then you have a shower head on the wall, and it just goes over everything else. And there's like a little drainage system in the corner of the bathroom. And to a lot of people, that's kind of shocking. Like, why don't you have a separate shower? Well, it's Vietnam, you know? So basically what I'm trying to convey here is that things are not going to be what you expect in a lot of ways. And you have to be flexible and adaptable. If you don't want to have those aspects of Vietnam, then there's places like Thao Dien. This is like the closest you can get to not feeling like you're in Vietnam, even though you're in Vietnam. And there's nice things about that. I will admit that it feels good to be out here. The air quality is a little bit better than in the center of the city, and it's got a nice feel to it. But I think that a lot of the charm of coming out to Southeast Asia is that you get to experience the roughness around the edges, the vibrance. There's an energy to Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, that is really awesome. I really like the feel of it. It feels like it's up and coming. If you watch my last video, you'll see it's really developing really fast. There's skyscrapers going up, but it's still got that feel. It still feels like a city in Southeast Asia where not everything's perfect, but it's got a lot of charm to it. Like there's little street vendors. And the thing is, you don't know how long it's going to stay like this, because in the next 5 years, it might change. It might become more modern and lose some of its charm. Like the street vendors are already getting moved out of the city. Like you can't sell food on the side of the street as much as you could, and that's slowly happening. And I don't think that's necessarily a great thing, because that's part of the awesomeness of being in Vietnam. So essentially you should expect things not to be how they are back home. You should try and embrace and enjoy it, be a little bit flexible. If you can't handle it, then you should consider if coming out to teach English and live in Vietnam is maybe not the right thing for you. If you're the kind of person that likes order and stability, it might be tough for you. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it might be something you need to spend some time adjusting to. It might be a good opportunity to just push yourself a little bit, get out of your comfort zone and enjoy what might be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I just wanted to do this video to kind of prepare you if you're planning to come out to Vietnam for what that might involve. And it's hard to do through just a short little video like this, but as long as you come into things with an open mind and you expect that you may get a few of those moments where you're like, what is going on? This is not what I expected, this is not what I want. But if you just come into it with the attitude of, hey, it's Vietnam, then you might find that you'll enjoy it and really enjoy your experience out here. So I'm curious to hear from you. Have you traveled out to Asia before? Do you live here and teach English? And what are some of those moments that have kind of surprised you or even shocked you when it comes to living and teaching English out here? So let me know, leave a comment below. Thanks so much to everyone who commented on the last video. I asked to get some responses from you guys and so many people commented. That was awesome. So let's keep the community going, and I'd like to see your responses below. So make sure to stay tuned for more videos about life and teaching English abroad, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.